I'm sorry, chat. I timed that perfectly though with the song. I'm here. I'm alive. How are you? Makeup's already done. I know Jake's already streaming. Doesn't know the rules of Twitch. I believe this. Does not know the rules of Twitch. Making my head. Anyhow. Somebody should let Morgan know I'm the con today. I know they'll show up. Anywho, how's everyone? Not sure who's here. Not sure if anyone's here. Because I know. Yeah. Goddamn. Days. Touch it up a little bit. I put this on like earlier today. Gotta touch it up. Load chat. We will be ready momentarily. Hope everyone's doing well. Ready for. Hello, Mannequin. How are you? Yeah, I hung out with somebody today, so I already had makeup on. Normally, I'm lazy. And I just don't feel like doing it before stream. So that's why I said it. It's like a hype train thing. Here, I'll put it in my title. PS. PS. Look extra hot today. How's that for a title? And then after packing my shit, roommate and I are moving tomorrow. Exciting. Exciting. How's that? How's that going? Well, I assume if you actually are moving, it's going well. I figured that's what you something like that. But yeah, I was a friend of mine from school came over today. We hung out for a bit. I watched all of Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel. They're a big fan of that. They wanted to introduce me, and now I'm a fan. Our roof is probably collapsing, and the slumlord doesn't want to help with shit, so we're moving in with Chapelmon and Cold Stare. Exciting. That sucks. So landlords are fucking dog shit. Like, it's not. Get a real job, please. Like, come on. It's not that hard. Just get a real damn job. I know this is coming. This is hilarious coming from me. Somebody who Twitch streams on occasion. Like, I don't go around telling everyone this is a real job. Like, this is for fun, and I earned some money doing it. At least our place is so bad. And our place
Battery low.
is so bad it just keeps getting worse. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. But really, won't anyone just think of the landlords? Like, come on. They're people too. This is a very flattering angle. Let's see how we compete with Jake today. Hello, Gregory. How are you? Yeah, we got makeup today. God damn, it feels good. It's been a while since I've even like put on makeup myself. And this is like a little on the tamer side for what I normally do. I did this pretty quickly. How do I look, chat? Yeah, maybe I should just tell people that like, oh man, you guys missed like an amazing hype train. You should totally do another one to like compete with like the early crowd who showed up. We should say we got like a level 5 hype train with like 5 people here. Cute as heck. Thank you, Gregory. And be like, wow, there's 20 there's like 20 people here and you guys can't do a hype train. I like how like white it makes my teeth look in contrast. I'm also thinking of, I don't know, I want to figure out something different to do with my eyebrows. Cause I'm definitely glad I shaved the tails off, because otherwise I would not have like the room for this. For these wings, and these are like fairly low. I can feel like the little stubble of the eyebrow. But anyway, how's everyone else doing? I feel like I asked that 1,000 times, but it's, I don't know, because people keep showing up. Kind of check in. Here, and we'll go over what we got today. So, also, fuck around with Skyrim at the moment. Hell yeah. Also, chat. I wanna show you a little something secret. We may be making some new overlays. So we're just gonna... Oops. What was that? What was that, Chad? What was that? So, this is a really good video that I stumbled across. That I started watching this guy because he does like anti-creationist like debunking creationists. He's a biologist, and he did a video on like gender and like sex stuff, and they're about like people saying there's two genders. And at first, when I saw this title, I was a little like, a little like, uh-oh, am I still gonna like this guy? But it is very good. We will watch that later, and he will make me look like an absolute doofus because he cites like 230 something like papers just for that video alone to like destroy transphobes. It's pretty great. We're gonna do Jubilee. Because, you know. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see, when was your last? Yeah, last stream you were here was October. I also have been streaming less, but because of school, but hopefully we're starting to get back on track. So we should be getting good. And here, what should we do for a, we need something for a hype train chat? Because we already have makeup. Like what could we do for me for hype train? That's words. I don't know what we could do. Oh. Struggling here. Because now I have like the new layout stuff like started to be made over in my scenes tab. So I'm just like, I have extra stuff so things are different. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm doing good, was going through a tough period, but I'm climbing out of it. Want to be and make this great. Oh, that's great. Sorry you had a rough time, but glad you're doing better. Let's see, what shall we start with? Do we want to start with Jubilee chat? We also have Hans Wormhat. Oh, sorry, I was reading the comment. I'm gonna try and get affiliate this year. Can I have an absolutely incredible emote I commissioned from a friend that I needed to share with the world. Wow. Speaking of commissions, I mean I can't do them currently, but gotta watch out for that. I also do commissions. So feel free to check me out on Twitter also. Just check me out on Twitter in general. You get some good content. But like a cute dog. Like, terrible pictures from my mediocre phone. Cute dog. Yeah, Yeah, also, if you could, is GoFundMe for a friend of mine. Oh, don't know if I can show that one. Rinda's commission, yet she thought herself true. God, the confidence. It's a strange feeling. A strange feeling being confident. Um, but yeah, maybe let's start with Jubilee. So, anyway, chat. Let's today we'll talk a lot about gender stuff, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a Chud to show up. Maybe we'll get to bully a Chud today. That would be nice. It's been a while since we've gotten to like really just lay into one. Um. Anyway, yeah. Let's get started.
This episode idea was by Jayla Alexis. Thank you, Jayla.
Make sure you stick around to the very end because we've got a big announcement.
Until then, enjoy the episode.
A girl can feel, more masculine doesn't mean she's not a girl.
So then me, being born male, biologically male, would you say I'm 100% male?
Well, you made the transition.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, last time I was here, I was super nervous about now where I'm now I'm fully aware that I'm a snack. Yeah, like, man, HRT is a hell of a drug. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, going out and like doing things, and I'm like, yeah, fucking look, I'm hot. Like, and for stuff like, the word. Okay, on Friday, I have a maybe date coming up, and I'm like, right, see what it is, because I'm not sure. Make cute beans hot. I might disagree with you on that one, but just because, oh God, not a fan of how I looked before. Now, like, now, now we're like here, and it's like, oh damn. See how I messed up my eyeliner? Son of a bitch.
Hi, my name is Kaitia Lamore, and I'm a writer, and I believe that God designed us with purpose, and that beautiful love story is in our DNA.
Okay, right off the bat, right off the bat, we're going in we're going in strong here. She is a creation. Oh, she's gonna be a doozy. Yeah. She looks like a normal person. My apologies. Oh god. God wrote it on her DNA. Wow. Isn't that amazing, everybody?
Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm actually in commercial real estate, but I'm very excited to share this discussion with you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Rebecca. I'm a student, and I'm looking forward to talking about gender and hearing what you guys think.
Hey.
Oh, we got a couple. They just seem like normal turfs. They seem like they might just be turfs. The one is like obviously like a religious bigot, and the other two I think are just normal turfs.
My name is Rory. My gender is non-binary, and I use they, them, theirs pronouns.
Hi, my name is Satine, and I am a trans woman. I work in film and television as a makeup artist.
Hi, my name is Marcus. I identify as a transgender male, and I'm really excited to have this discussion with you guys.
Girls and boys should be raised the same.
Bruh. Hello, Seculoid. How are you? You know, appreciate some Mitari. Here are folks who make stuff with Legos. True. Speaking of which, I've been playing Lego Marvel Superheroes. Pretty good game. Oh no? What do you mean, oh no? What could possibly be bad about a Jubilee video about trans people? Is it trans guys versus cisoids? Not just trans guys. There's a non-binary trans woman and a trans guy. Also, hello, Manrich Kid. How are you? Welcome back. My friend bought me a ton of Lego games for Christmas poggers. Yeah, I've been playing, I just got Lego Star Wars, not Lego Star Wars, Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2. And I just finished 1. I finished the main story. I might go back and like recomplete some other stuff, but I think I might just go to 2. But we'll see. But those have been good so far. They're fun. And then I'm real excited for the new Lego Star Wars that's coming out, which is the Skywalker saga one, which is all 9 movies, all 3 trilogies. But because that's gonna be a big Lego game. This video is going to be a lot. Hell yeah. Also, chat, feel free to give me ideas for hype trains today since I already have makeup on.
The reason why I feel like girls and boys should be raised the same, I'm saying just raising them to be upstanding citizens in society and things like that.
Exactly. Not to say that like gender doesn't exist, but to give young people an ability.
The video is kind of quiet in general for me, chat. So if it's a little quiet on your end, I apologize.
To navigate that themselves, to come into themselves.
I actually agree with a lot of your points as far as there are a lot of similarities between boys and girls growing up, and I believe that all children should.
You could let us burn down chat. Fill your whole stomach. Oh, 1 second. I swear to God, if this is... Oh, okay. Had to make sure, because these are really nice. Hey chat, if you want to get me something for my 1-year streaming anniversary. Feel free. Or a 1-year affiliate anniversary, which is coming up, and we might do like a big 12-hour stream or something. Ooh, I can give you me. Very appreciated. We currently have Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Jurassic World, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Marvel Avengers, Lego Star Wars, Lego Star Wars 3, Robin, Lego. Ooh, I have played some of those. I don't know how Marvel of the Lego Avengers compares. I think that one is more heavily related to the movies. But I imagine it's also good. I have not played it, but they're Lego games. They're all solid. They're all good. A lot of fun. If you have not played Lego games, I recommend it.
Should be raised in a loving.
Complete Saga. It's really good. That's why I'm so excited for the new one that's coming out. Because it's going to be original trilogy, prequels, and sequels all together in one game.
Supportive family, but I think that there does need to be balance and just some of the characteristics that men and women have, where it's like women usually are more nurturing. With boys, they want to grow up and like, what does it mean to be a man, and what does it mean to be a provider, what does it mean to lead your family? And those are the things that are traditional to me, where I feel like the man is the head of the household.
I grew up being a tomboy.
Yikes. That's what we call toxic masculinity. Tego. God damn it. God damn it. But yeah, that's what we call like very stereotypical gender roles, and that's generally not a good thing for people. Like that's where a lot of toxic masculinity comes from, and like a lot of the like toxic aspects of masculinity that are like forced onto a lot of men. And like the men should be the providers, they should be tough and not cry and blah blah blah. Whatever. God. Sorry. I was sitting on my foot and it fell asleep. Everybody should be good. Sorry. I'm gay. I can't sit normally. What do you want from me? How do you like? I don't get how people just sit in like a chair. This is why I need like such a wide angle, because I can't sit still. Anyway. But yeah.
Like, I am so connected to my masculine side and so much to my feminine side. I really feel 50-50.
And I feel like in our society now, when a girl is raised and she feels like a tomboy, acts like a tomboy, she's now encouraged to kind of think, maybe I should have been born as a guy. But for me, it's always been, oh, maybe she's just interested in things that guys typically like. Right. And that's fine.
That's fine. Both are okay. People just now are like comfortable with saying, hey, if like you would feel more comfortable presenting as a guy, that's okay. You can do that. No one's stopping you, except for these two and the other one, who sucks. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. Like mid-sentence. Just like went blank. But like no one is, this is like the Abigail Schreier, like they're going around telling like every kid they're trans just because some boy likes the color pink, they go around telling him he's a trans woman. And like yeah, definitely. I know some like trans women who aren't very like who are like a bit more masculine, like a bit more like butch. But then I also know like trans men who are still like very effeminate and like they're kind of twinks. But unless if they were here, they wouldn't be able to deny it. But um, but yeah, it's like there's that's fine. You can just be like a masculine woman. That's allowed. You can be a feminine man. That's fine. No one is saying you can't do these things. I don't know where they get this idea from that. Like they say like every like young girl who likes like something that's just like a slightly masculine thing is like they go around telling that kid that they would be a trans man. Like, no, that's not. They say, hey, maybe this is what it is. And for kids, they would go to therapists who would then talk to them and be able to assess that. And maybe, they try socially transitioning for a little while. And then, maybe they say, that wasn't for me. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be for you. Mind blowing. You can decide you're not trans, and it doesn't invalidate everyone else who is trans.
Fine, but you can still be a girl who is interested in that, and you can still be a girl.
RDSJ Gaming, thank you for the raid. How you doing? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone, in case you're new here, hello, I'm Altered Ren. Real cool. Pretty cool Twitch streamer, lefty, trans woman. Well, the woman part's iffy now. Trying to figure that part out. But yeah, we're lefties. Today we're talking about gender a lot and how we know that like there's more than two genders and like how absolutely wrong TERFs are and transphobes. And how they're just like objectively wrong. Right now we're watching a lovely Jubilee video of basically transphobes and trans people. Thank you. Oh, are we have some? Yeah, we had a little. There was a little gender identity crisis 2.0, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Um. And oh, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking if we do manage to do a hype train, we should think of something else as a reward for it. Because I normally would do makeup, but I already have makeup on, so guess we'll have to do something else.
Piggyback off of what you're saying, as a little girl, I always only wanted to shop in the boys section. Of course, my family was completely against it. I grew up in a religious family. I'm actually evangelical Christian myself, but my family would use my tomboy statement to write it off and minimize the fact that no, I actually really don't like being a girl. Sometimes, like you said, there's actually genuine tomboys in the world. With me, nah, that wasn't, it was way more than that.
And it can be very difficult for parents to make that distinction.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're a young child, it's hard to express how you're.
Yeah, also, like, let's take that opportunity. Like, you don't have to get it on the first try. I didn't. I thought I did for a long time. Turns out I didn't. And that's allowed. You're allowed to not get it on the first try. Sorry. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thinking. A bit of effort.
Feeling inside
and especially like as like a freaking 8-year-old, I had no idea what transgender was. I didn't know any of that.
But that's what's really important. I don't think as an 8-year-old you should know that label. You know what I mean? I don't think we should know labels, period.
What? What? I don't think we should know labels, period. I mean, if you mean you're a gender abolitionist, well then, maybe, just maybe, they have one correct opinion. But I don't think they mean that in a gender abolitionist term, in like that.
There are only two genders.
If any of these fuckers move over here. See, right now, this one's on thin ice. He said he's a evangelical Christian, which would just be mind blowing. But I don't know if he meant previously with his family, but none of these people better move. Good.
Your DNA is going to be the same from when you're born and until you die. And
We'll come back to DNA later.
it doesn't matter how you dress yourselves or what hormones you take. I mean, you're either going to be a male or a woman. You have those chromosomes in your body.
There's a lot more options than that.
There are certain things about yourself that are going to stay the same your whole life, and you have to accept those and embrace them, because if you don't embrace them, you're just going to be hating yourself.
I really wanted to be normal. Like that, there's nothing in life I've ever wanted more than to be normal. And
What is that? Though, really?
Exactly.
This is the non-binary person, in case you missed the introductions. This person is non-binary.
That's the problem. That is the problem I run into, is that it doesn't really exist. And every attempt that I've made to
And trans woman, trans man.
try and be more like one gender or the other hasn't really worked. So finally I just got to a place where I was like, well, people may say that there isn't anything in between, but I'm in between, you know? And I feel like the people who really know me and love me, they see that.
It's difficult to think that there could only be two.
Hello,
like,
Morgan.
how would that even be possible when there's, like, on a spectrum of, like, masculinity and femininity? Couldn't you lie anywhere?
Well, it's like the tomboy idea that a girl can feel and have these more masculine doesn't mean she's not a girl.
No one is saying that tomboys aren't girls. Although that term, not really a big thing anymore. Anyway, hello Morgan, how are you? A few months ago I got the question if I was trans woman myself. Even though I feel comfortable as a guy, I do keep the door open for the possibility. Though at the moment I prefer to play around with masculinity and a self-performative manner of funsies. Yeah, that's perfectly valid. Like to be like, what if I am trans? And then you could be like, maybe not. Like, there's nothing wrong with being like, it's a possibility. Like, that's fine. That's cool. You know, like, I hope you're happy with whatever you got in terms of gender stuff. I hope it's good. Seems like you're comfortable with where you are, but you're open to that potentially changing, or which is a good thing. Which is the thing I kind of ran into, where like, if you notice, in the tags down there, I don't have woman there anymore, because it never really felt like it applied to me, and I thought, oh, that's just like internalized transphobia and stuff. But then like I started thinking about it a bit more. I'm like, what if I'm just not? What if that's just not me? And like, lo and behold, I believe, you know, like I don't really think I am. I think I'm just non-binary. I'm just more gay than I originally thought. But yeah, it's like, it took me, God, like a while to like come around to that idea, because originally because I was a chud for a while, so I was like, non-binary is not a thing. You have to be one or the other. While I was still out as a trans woman, yeah, yeah, I know, I was a dumbass. Ooh, look at me. But um, but yeah, it's just like I I was kind of like under a lot of stress from other stuff, and then that just kind of prompted me just like thinking about a lot of things, and I was like, hmm, does that does that term really apply to me? One part I can relate here in my mouth. Um, One part I can relate with is the being an outsider to the norm and having bodily dysphoria. I'm currently working on losing weight and be nicer to myself. That's good. Yeah, sometimes I find that like stuff like that, like I've heard like maybe like losing weight or like some sort of change in your body can help. Like starting HRT helped. Like um but yeah, that like helped me like figure out stuff like in terms of like how my gender feels. So like and I think I've heard this from other like trans people is like a lot of times it's because like puberty is what prompts this. It's like now you're hitting puberty and like your body is changing and you're like, this isn't right. I don't like this. And it's you know, it's but yeah, that like similar feeling of like dysmorphia or dysphoria is like definitely something that's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't experience it because they're just like, oh, I have days where I don't like how I look, but it's like, no, it's more than that. It's like a, I, yep, yeah, sorry, where was that? Thinking. My mom just came in and asked me something. I don't know if you heard her on the mic. Um, I'll just leave it there.
There's a spectrum, but there's two definitive parts to the spectrum.
So then would you, okay, well, would me being born male, biologically male, would you say I'm 100% male?
Well, you made the transition, so you didn't feel like
But
a
you
male.
were physically born as a male.
But
But
then
you were
would you say I'm 100% female?
I will be honest and say I feel I use the chromosome, but I would say you are under 100% a male.
Bruh, look at her. I mean, she's hot. What can I say? Like, come on.
That would just be my belief.
You're 100% what you're portraying to me.
And because I'm that,
Who am I to decide that for you?
Wouldn't that mean that I am somewhere on this gender spectrum? Not
No, I
necessarily
don't.
one or the other, which is the binary.
Well, you don't. I wouldn't say you're entirely 100% female, but I wouldn't say you're 100% a male. So that would mean I am somewhere else on the spectrum. Like, bruh, how does she not see this? This is like she literally like walked the other like transphobe to this point and was like, it's like, okay, so if I'm not 100% either, that means I'm like somewhere else on the spectrum. No, no. I love just like this like rational disconnect where it's just like you see like this, you have them say the correct thing, but then you point out to them that that's like the correct point and like what you're saying, and they're like, no, 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 that's not what I mean. And it's really infuriating to like be in a conversation with that. It's funny to see on video because then I can pause it and make fun of them for doing it. But when you're having the conversation, like Mimsy did this a lot when I was talking with her. Um, but um, but like this is a very infuriating mindset to like encounter, and it's difficult to deal with because it's tough to see and be like, no, 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 but you just said a different point, and then you're saying, no, 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 that's wrong, but you just said it.
Scientifically, you are one thing and you'll always be a male scientifically. You can express yourself.
Genetically, yes. Maybe. Don't know. Can't read their chromosomes. Same goes for written. Thank you. But like, we'll get into this in the video later, but you don't know her chromosomes. You have no way of knowing that she is XY. And like, in terms of like brain stuff that tends to differ between genders and like sexualities. Do you think the government is putting cum in the booster shots? Absolutely. I got my booster shot already, and I'm just like pumped full of cum. Totally. Definitely. That's exactly what they're doing. Also, account created an hour ago. Looks real. Place your bets now, chatters.
However you want to the world, and hopefully the world accepts you for who you want to be and who you are. But when it comes to this spectrum, I mean, there are not that many transgender people in this world when it comes down to it. In LA, there's a bigger population.
You
And
just
so,
don't.
Because it's more accepting. People aren't going to come out where it's not accepting. Just to mention someone getting with a girl and something. Is that a Y chromosome? But also, here's a fun thing. Somebody could present as a completely cis woman and have a Y chromosome, but present as a cis woman. Isn't that incredible? We'll get into fun stuff with that later.
Exactly. No.
So I don't think it's a very high chance, but there's a possibility one of these three has a Y chromosome and is completely unaware of it.
there's a bigger population.
You just don't see us.
Exactly. No. 100%.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Exactly.
You ladies, all your lives, you don't even know how many hands you shook that was possibly a trans person. The reason why you don't see it is because those trans individuals don't want you to see it. In Middle America, they don't have the same like opportunities and great laws as California. So it's just like, well, I better lie low before like I get my ass beat somewhere.
I should be allowed to use the bathroom that matches my gender identity.
All in that.
I feel kind
I was gonna say, like, what? This is my favorite argument, is the fucking bathroom. It's so dumb. Bathroom shit is the dumbest argument. From TERFs and transphobes.
this is another one that I feel a little split about. I, on one hand,
Uh-oh.
with all of my heart, have respect for, again, like I said before, whatever you feel you should
Uh-oh.
live, you know? However, with that said, if I had a little girl, and if you're not completely transitioned,
You don't want them to be exposed to that
maybe
soon?
not yet, maybe not yet, that is a
Okay.
right.
Have you thought about
If you thought about not taking your child in public, like, maybe that's not a thing I want my child to see. Like, maybe I don't want to see my child to see two gay men holding hands at the Stop and Shop, going on preparing for their cute dinner date that they're having tonight. Because things are going well, and this fictional gay couple that I made up in my brain is having a good time, and it's, you know, it's their it's their third or fourth date. Things have been going well for a little while. They agreed that, you know, they'll make dinner tonight, go shopping together, and, you know, it's real good. They both look fantastic, outfits on point, and, you know, maybe I don't want my kid to see that, so I'm never taking. So, you know, gays should have their own Stop and Shop. But like, this is the dumbest argument I've ever fucking heard.
what that person might be going through? How scared they probably are that they're being judged as they go
Absolutely.
in? Before I transition.
Absolutely. And I do not care about it. Because I don't want my kid to see a trans person. Also, chat, do you think Give George Air is like a troll, or I don't know, they've been pretty quiet. Account was created an hour ago. So hopes aren't high.
When I was still confused as to what I wanted to do and who I was, and it was really difficult, but I decided to use the women's restroom still because I did not feel safe in the men's restroom. And I knew that I would not be a problem. It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, also the thing is, do we have somebody like checking for bathroom, checking people at like the entrance to the bathroom? Like, what is her solution to this? Because, like, before I started HRT, I got looks in the men's restroom before I started HRT because I was, you know, I was fairly effeminate and like would still like pass sometimes even like before HRT, and like I acknowledge that, like, obviously that's not something most trans people, even like most trans people, experience. I was fairly lucky. Um, but like I would get less. I felt like I would get less looks in the women's restroom than the men's. Like, I remember one time I was in the men's restroom and I was drying my hands, so like you could see the sinks and stuff from like the doorway. And so like this guy walks in, and like I see somebody walk in out of the corner of my eye, so I just like look over, and then he like stops dead in his tracks after he sees me, and I was wearing fairly normal clothes, didn't have makeup on or anything. He stops, turns around, looks at the sign, and then walks back into the bathroom. It was a pretty funny experience. Don't want my kids to see trans folks. They might be open-minded and comfortable in their own bodies. Oh no.
People don't understand. It really hurts your psyche.
I would say for safety, I do agree that you should be able to go where you feel comfortable. However, the line that I would draw is if we were one day to say all bathrooms should be just open for anybody.
To touch on that point,
Also, like, why the fuck are bathrooms gendered? Like, bro, you're going in there to take a shit. Like, just go in there, poop, and leave. Acknowledge most people are probably just taking a piss, but like, come on. Like, in the building we're at on my campus, where like they have a lot of like events and like concerts and shows and stuff. The bathrooms are not gendered. Like, there's still one that was like the men's room, and like you can tell by the urinals, and like one that was the women's room. But like, nobody pays attention to that anymore. Everyone just kind of uses whichever one has the shorter line. Like, it's just how it is, and like, there's no issues. You go in there, you pee, you're drunk, you talk with people, you leave.
I've been at gyms where it's like a restroom and a locker room and people are changing there. It can be difficult because when the rules start to get so relaxed like that, where a guy that wanted to go in a woman's locker room that wasn't transgender, and then if anybody questioned him, he can just say, I feel like a woman.
That's a very valid
You know,
point.
and that's a concern for me.
Who said that's a valid point? If I am a cis man and I go into the men's room and I'm being a creep around the locker room, it's no different. Like, it's no different. If somebody is going into the locker room and being a creep, they're being a creep. It doesn't matter what's in their pants. Hello, Morgan. Welcome back. How do you like the makeup, Morgan? Is it up to your standards? I remember when I still had really long hair, worked out as a custodian in a supermarket. Whenever I was working at floors, I was good at approach for, excuse me, ma'am. Only for me to turn around and see my mustache and beard. Oh, sorry, sorry. Thank you, Morgan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's like I had both, where like I would get people be like, "Excuse me, ma'am. Oh, sorry," and I'd be like, "No, no, you had it right the first time." And then other times where I'm like, where I don't know, you see me from like another angle or like I don't know, wherever. It's redundant, so it's very good. Yeah, also we need a new idea if we ever get a hype train chat. I don't know if we will. We started right around when Jake started, so it's a little light here. Which I mean, fair enough. Jake was streaming, so. Also, the 5th, 2 days. Our affiliate anniversary. What do we do in chat? We need ideas. Come up with something. please.
It's interesting how we get so hung up on trans folks in bathrooms when it seems like the underlying fear might be that men are predators and that we are afraid of predatory men, either posing as trans women or just in general. Having gender neutral restrooms, maybe if they're not all the restrooms, but some restrooms that are gender neutral would just be good for everybody's safety.
I agree with that too.
So to make a thank you, Puka the Duka, for 300 biddies. Thank you, thank you. How you doing, Puka? Welcome back. Arch nemesis of the stream, Jake. Well, listen. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Let's check out this loser, actual Jake. Oh wow! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this idiot! Look at this!
This whole thing is about. Or
Absolute
this guy right
buffoon.
here.
Look at this! Look at this man! What an absolute fool! Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. This corn. How could he? How could he? Give me my points. Give me my channel, please.
Gender should not be based on how you feel.
To come and tell me, you know, we're going to be born and I'm just going to decide.
Maybe that one is savable. Maybe the one who stayed is savable. Broke corn, woke spiked collars? Yeah. Look, I dressed up like this for you. Without any hype trains. Without being like, get me to a level 5 hype train, and then I'll look good for you. No. I showed up looking like this, chat. I'm gonna try to more often. But I showed up looking like this for you. I may have put on the makeup for a different reason and just had it on already. But we're not gonna consider that. Compared to the mainstream popular biggest streamer on Twitch, Altered of course. Biggest stream on Twitch. Feel free to tell Jake he's inferior and can fight me. Oh no, I don't. Look at that. Jake. I'll square up with the corn any day. God. Chat, don't show him this part. I'm struggling to put my fucking thing back on. In fact, don't show him any of that. I looked like an idiot.
Decide what I'm going to be. I'm sorry, that's a crack of shit to me. I believe that first, yeah, you're born. You're a woman or a man.
I believe that gender shouldn't be based on feelings because our feelings change a lot. Not everybody's does, I understand that. But
Wow.
the majority of people do as they grow up.
So you're saying gender is fluid? Gasp. Let's see. Look at this. Look at that.
Is that good?
That's
Corn
accurate.
is good. Yeah.
Maybe one day he'll be popular enough to be on your stream. Yeah. Maybe one day, Jake. Maybe one day. Keep your hopes up. Keep working for it.
You said the word decide. I did not wait till 18 and decide, I'm gonna be a man today. Everything in my power, I did not actually want to be transgender. The decision that I made was being authentically me, to be happy. That's, to me, it was be happy or eventually commit suicide.
The thing about gender is you don't choose your gender. Your gender is something that develops over time. It's very fluid. There's no denying that. I mean,
Tweet those videos. I think
born
I have before.
No denying. But, you know, my government papers all say female because that's who I am.
One thing that I want to know, were you raised in like a conservative household? Did any of you have the ability to actually sit down and talk to your parents and like ask any questions?
I didn't start transitioning until I was 32. I didn't come out to my dad until I was 33. And that, I come from
Demonstrate
a
the
very
pecking order? Yeah. Jake calls himself a Chad and a Sigma male. Over here? No. I couldn't even be tied down to any of those. I have all of them. They're like the Infinity Stones. I have all the genders now. They're mine, Jake. Your gender's mine. It seems I have the upper hand. I'm inevitable, Jake. I don't know if that worked. The snap didn't work. That could have been cool. But I'm a doofus. Jake who? Exactly. If Jake works really hard, you can guess on the Bible Rin loaded, starring Hannah and Rin. Mr. Popo pecking order. Man, Mr. Popo. That's a man I'll have on my
I
stream.
didn't want to lose my dad.
I would be like, no, you've been transphobic this entire time, bitch. Do not comfort me right now. Whatever that is, thank you for the follow. Something in Korean. Thank you. That's the least I can do, is recognize that that is Korean. And I hope I'm right. I hold all the genders. Jeez, they're very squishy. True. There's a lot of squishy things happening. Omni. Right?
When you think you might lose something that you love, it's really hard to go forward and make that decision.
I would support my child if they were trans.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Everyone
They hesitated. They got peer pressured.
that's born on this earth is special, and we're all lucky to be alive and be on this planet and have the opportunity to experience our lives and experience love. And I'm not going to be influencing them and saying, no, this is the right way of living, you have to live this way, but I'm going to say you need to carefully consider, really think about it, and think about the social implications as well, and everything that you're.
You think no trans people don't really consider before coming out to anyone? You really think that? Really think I didn't sit there and be like, and slowly tell my friends over years, because I didn't want to lose friends. who I had been friends with for a long time. Or like fairly long time. It is, according to the translation, it's RWEK 1356. Because Twitch does a little translate thing. So thank you for the follow anyway. But yeah, it's like, you think trans people don't like seriously consider before like telling anybody, especially if they knew you as their parent said shit like what you've said in this video?
You're going to have to face if you go through that. Is it worth it for you?
I feel like support and acceptance are different things. So if it wasn't something I agree with, would I love them? Would I be there for them? Would I support them? Would I have the conversations? Yes. Would I say I agree with you? No.
Yeah, that's like then you don't fucking love your kid. You love what you want them to be, not who they actually are. If that's your response.
See, I grew up with the acceptance part, and that hurt kind of more for me. I felt like she was only accepting me because she gave birth to me. Right. But if she didn't give birth to me, it's like, no, you went, yeah. And I didn't like that feeling.
You know, if I had grown up in a place where I felt loved and accepted unconditionally,
The way to overcome that is to not have any friends like I did. Oh yeah, by senior year I had 0 friends. Not because of trans stuff, because of other things. But partially because of trans stuff. But oh, a friend of mine came out as male and I'm happy for him. I actually think of reconnecting with him, see how he's doing. Would be nice to have some more guy friends in my life. It's great. Yeah, just what you need is more queer friends. Just gotta say it. Queer friends are superior.
I think that I would have saved myself a lot of therapy and a lot of self-work. But, you know, maybe we don't know for certain yet. And the best we can do, I think, is keep trying.
I think that even with this discussion, it drives the point home about how important family is, how important love is, how important it is to really support no matter how you feel or how you're raised. Like, this world can really break you down. So that's why for me, like, family is so important, and I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think that we should be.
Family is so important, but fuck my kid if they come out as trans. I'm not gonna support them.
Doing a better job in raising our children and loving on them.
Bring it in.
Hi, guys.
God, they always get like the most like milquetoast like people for like the correct opinions who aren't gonna be like, no, fuck you. Like, if I would be on this, they 100% would not like me, because I'd just be like, no, fuck you, you're a bigot. I want nothing to do with you. You are like, if I really hope none of your kids are queer, because they are gonna have a horrible childhood if they know this is how you feel. Everyone is queer. Okay, you're doing well. Um. All right. This video is a really good video. This is here. I'm gonna link it. No, not link. Or actually.
Oh,
wait.
hi there.
Video here. Here we go. Because it's in a playlist. But yeah, check out this video. Check out his channel. He's really cool. He's a biologist. I think he's a biology teacher. I mean, he has this YouTube channel. and he made this video about transness and or just the worst to be. Yeah, some of them are kind of. If you want me to respect you for you, you have to respect me for me. And if you choose not to use my correct pronouns in the name, then my level of respect. Yeah. Lately, that's kind of how it's been turning with some people who I've come out to. Dad. But I will spit at you. I haven't spit at him yet. Oh, I just subscribed to this guy. Yeah, he's real cool. His channel is just kind of fairly new. Yeah. I started. Wait, this was actually one of his first videos. I didn't realize that. Um, but yeah, I just started watching him recently. But yeah, he's real good. Coolest thing is at the very end. Oh, I assume you mean the source lists. And hello, Stupid Q. How you doing? Welcome back. But yeah, he's a biologist. He's real cool. He does a lot of videos on like creationism and evolution, which are real fun because I like watching those videos. They're interesting to learn about. So yeah, I recommend him if you like watching that kind of stuff. And also, this video is really good. Um, it it's a very very in-depth description of like sex and gender.
I wasn't actually reading this. My name's Forrest. I'm a biologist and I make educational science videos on the internet. Not too long ago, I made a TikTok.
Also, here's the fuzzy he points out at the beginning of the video that he did not notice for the entirety of the recording.
TikTok video about what it means to be trans or intersex. And ever since that day, I've been tagged in about 1,000 different videos of people making the same stupid arguments that we've all heard a million times. Things like, oh, you're either XX or XY, or boys act like this and girls look like that, or you can't change your gender any more than you can change your age or your species. And I figured that I could make a bunch of different TikTok videos, each one trying to cram into 60 seconds just how asinine these arguments actually are. Or I could just make one solid YouTube video that explains in layman's terms how this whole two-gender system works, or doesn't work from a biological perspective. Before we begin, however, we're going to need to get a few things straight. First of all, humans are animals. We are living things, and we are not plants, and we are not fungi, and we are not bacteria. We are animals, and we obey the same laws of nature as every other animal. I'm throwing this in here right at the outset because I want to try to avoid the insane argument that we are somehow special or have some privileged place in this world. We're not, and we don't. Second of all, throughout the course of this video, I'm going to be arguing against the binary model of things like sex and gender, but I'm still going to use terms like male and female and girl and boy. This is just for the sake of convenience. If I were to make a long-form argument like this and have special language for the whole thing, this video would be unwatchable, so I'm counting on you to be able to follow along. You're also going to need to understand some pretty basic biological terminology, so I'm going to run through a very...
Yeah, so a lot of times he does use terms like male and female when referring to like certain things, but generally when he's talking about people, generally he means like assigned female at birth and like assigned male at birth, typically. But yeah, overall, this video is very good, and I think it could be good to send to like TERFs and like transphobic people if they're willing to like actually sit down and learn and watch this. But I know a lot of them are not willing to do that. But like it is very informative and very much it's a very dense video too. So we'll see how it does on stream. But
very quick vocab list for you. If you don't want to sit through that, just jump to this part of the video. But I strongly encourage that everybody stick around because this might help avoid some confusion later on. Cells are the most fundamental unit of life. In fact, they're the smallest things that we can call alive. Your body is made of lots and lots of cells of all sorts of different shapes and sizes that all do different things. DNA is the instruction manual that your body uses to do most things, mainly just making proteins. You have DNA in almost every single cell in your body. A long stretch of DNA that codes for one particular thing is called a gene, and a bunch of DNA, a bunch of genes, all squished together and coiled up into a little wad is called a chromosome. Humans have 46 chromosomes that are broken up into 23 pairs. You get 23 from your dad and 23 from your mom. Each pair does pretty much the same thing. By the way, fun fact, if you were to take all of the DNA out of just one of your cells, all 46 chromosomes, unwind them all and stretch them out end to end, it would be about as long as me, a little over 6 feet long. And that's just in one cell! Another term that you're going to want to know is the term dimorphic. Di means two, morph means shape, so dimorphism is the state of having two different shapes. This is what we call it whenever a species has differently shaped males and females. And in case you want to know, the term for having males and females in the first place is called being dioecious. A monoecious species only has one sex. A dioecious species has two. I'm probably going to use quite a few more terms throughout the video, but I'll try to explain those as I go along. I don't want to give you like a whole word bank here, so let's get started with the concept of what sex actually is. In biology, sex is not just the term for the act of reproduction through gene blending. It's also the term for how we characterize and categorize males versus females. And in the world of biology, your sex is determined by the size of your reproductive cells, which we call your gametes. If you have lots and lots of very small little gametes, we call those sperm and you're a boy. If you have relatively few very large gametes, we call those eggs and you're a girl. Now right away, you can notice that there's a pretty big problem here. What if you don't have any gametes? What if you're infertile? Does that mean that you're neither male nor female? The thing that you have to understand about biology is that all we're trying to do is define and calculate what nature is already doing all on its own.
Yeah, and something I've had biology teachers tell me in the past and stuff is that biology is like the one science that there's always an exception to the rule. No matter, like, think the thing. Oh, mammals give birth to live young. Generally the rule for mammals. But then you have platypus. They lay eggs. And I think echidnas do too, maybe. There's monotremes, I think is the term for them. But they're still mammals, even though they lay eggs. Anything you do with your chungus. But yeah, these are... I'm sorry, chat. I am tired today. But yeah, biology is like the one science where there's like there are exceptions to the rule. Like physics. Physics doesn't really have exceptions. Like chemistry. You mix these two things, you're gonna bond in this way and cause this reaction. You do this, blah blah. I don't know. I sucked at chemistry. But like these other sciences, biology has a lot of exceptions. Plants. Plants are generally stationary. There are some plants that like move. They're like little plants that will like climb up trees. And not just like grow up the side of a tree, like the whole plant will move up the tree. Video game heats.
Life makes all the rules and breaks all the rules all the time. So as biologists, our job is to try to just carve out a hole for the peg that nature has already given us, and not everybody's going to fit into that slot. The point is, the definition of sex is not unique here. There is almost always some wiggle room, some gray area in almost every single biological definition of anything. It's one of the reasons I became a biologist, because life is weird as shit. So yeah, the fact that I just gave you an actual textbook definition and then immediately blew a big hole in it should give you a pretty good idea of how the rest of this video is going to go. Ignoring the fact that an individual of a dioecious species might not have any gametes at all, the fact that we base sex on gamete size in the first place raises a lot of serious concerns. There are several species that are dioecious. They have males and females, but their gametes are all the same size. They differentiate into what we call mating types, which you could call like male and female, but the only thing that you'd be going off of there is who's giving and who's receiving the gametes. And if we tried to define everybody that way, then things like seahorses would have their sexes swapped, because the females deposit the eggs into the males, and then the males fertilize them and give birth to live young. Also, there are a few species that have more than just 2 gamete sizes.
Yeah, like, this entire general concept of, like, male and female that these people, a lot of, like, tersely tend to base it on is solely based on humans. And I realize, yes, we're humans, so we're only talking about humans. But it's like, they always look they always go to nature. Oh, like, look at nature. But then you really look at nature, and you see that this shit isn't consistent. Should be the Pokemon professor for the new game. I did send something in. I don't. Hopes aren't like super high. Just because, like, yeah. But like, I did send something to him being like, hey, would you want to come on the stream? Don't think I'll hear back, but I just want to let you know that, hey, I sent something out. Maybe we'll hear back. And also don't pester him to come on the show. But I said, hey, I just saw your video on trans stuff. I'm a trans streamer. I was wondering if, like, oh, you'd want to come on and maybe, like, talk about ways that you think might be effective to communicate this as somebody who is more science oriented and somebody who is more educated on the social stuff myself. And like how we could use that to then communicate these issues to people who suck and have incorrect opinions. Just looking at furries could count. I would argue, yes, it does.
For example, there's one species of fruit fly that has one size of egg and then 3 different sizes of sperm, each produced by a different type of male. So we should really be saying that there are 4 different sexes here, or at the very least we could say that there's 2.
Origamized, thank you for the follow. Welcome. How you doing?
2 sexes, but one of them is broken down into 3 subclasses of male, one of which violates the whole definition of sex anyway because their sperm is actually bigger than the female's egg. By the way, in case you were curious, here's some bonus vocab words for you. The term for when a species has more than one size of gamete is anisogamy. The term for having just one size of gamete is isogamy. So if you wanted to sound all smart and important, you could say that humans are a dioecious, anisogamitic, and moderately sexually dimorphic species of primates. Also, the whole idea that you're just born male or female and that we should just go with what's on your birth certificate is deeply flawed, to say the least. There are several species that are completely hermaphroditic, making both sperm and eggs. There are several species that are sequentially hermaphroditic. They start out as either male or female, and then later on in life they switch. There are plenty of species that can be one sex their entire lives, and then when it comes time to breed...
Oh, Morgan, then you'll love this video. There's a good amount of sperm talk in this video. Warning, chat. We're talking about sperm. Also, maybe it's Origami Zed. Maybe that's the correct. Feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. But regardless, thank you for the follow.
They can't find the opposite sex around, they just switch to the opposite sex to help everybody else out. There are even some animals that we call bilateral gonadromorphs that are literally male on one half of their body.
Gametes so hot. Facts. Gametes are pretty hot.
And female on the other half. You can even have that whole setup just in your gonad. Their body, animals that we call bilateral gonadromorphs that are literally male on one half of their body and female on the other half. You can even have that whole setup just in your gonads. Ovotestes are
Origamized. Okay. I will do my best. Now, if only we could get this guy to talk about Rin's sperm. Here, a spoiler alert for you. Thanks to HRT. Doesn't really exist anymore. The well has dried up. It is no longer in supply. So, if you ever got any, whoever you are out there, you're lucky. You have a rare commodity.
or when you have ovarian tissue on one side and testicular tissue on the other side of the same organ. That happens sometimes in humans and other animals, and there are even some species where that's the normal ground state of all females. So gonadal differences aren't enough to actually differentiate between the two sexes. But I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking, hey, just look at the chromosomes. After all, you're either XX or XY, right? Not exactly. The concept of how sex is determined.
This is what I was talking about earlier. When they were like, if you're a boy, you're XX, or XY. If you're a girl, you're XX. And I was like, wrongo. This is a real good explanation of it.
In an organism is usually broken down like this. You have your chromosomes,
Sure,
those
we
code for
try
what kind
hard
of
enough,
gonads you
we
get, either
can get
ovaries or
some.
testes,
Oh,
and then
dear
those
Lord.
produce germ cells and hormones, and that's how we tell whether you're a boy or a girl. And if you go to any high school level biology class, that's probably the explanation that you're going to get. Problem is, that's wildly inaccurate, and it leaves a lot of stuff out. First of all, the sex of an embryo is evident well before gonads ever develop. In fact, there are plenty of species where external genitalia develop before gonads ever do. There are
Also, I just want to take a moment to appreciate my mug. It's a very pretty mug that I've had for a while. It's also really big, which I really like. I'll fill this whole thing with like iced tea, and I'll just sit there and just like gulp it up. But yeah, I just wanted to take a moment and just appreciate this. It's real pretty. Sorry, Jen.
also plenty of chromosomal sex differences that have nothing to do with genitalia or gonads or any of that, and therefore don't fall into that whole biological gamete size sex determining model, but are still very important. For example, the human Y chromosome contains instructions for a special kind of ribosome, which is the part of the cell that builds proteins. So protein synthesis is just very slightly different in me than it is for any female, and it has been since well before I had any hint of a gender. Perhaps you have heard that we are all females by default, and that it's the Y chromosome that makes me into a boy. That ain't true either. It is true to say that one particular gene on the Y chromosome, what we call SRY, plays a pretty important role.
Get your big mug something lewd. That's what I call a peak comment. always able to work everything back to something lewd.
Role in the development of testes and therefore by extension male behavior. So for example, when the SRY gene was spliced into XX female mice, about 30% of them developed male testes, male genitalia, and even male behaviors. Similarly, when the SRY gene was cut out of XY male mice, many of them went on to develop ovaries, to develop feminine behaviors, and even to be able to get pregnant and have litters. Again, those are XY male mice getting pregnant and giving birth. But don't let any of this fool you into thinking that like the SRY gene is some magical on-off switch to masculinity. The truth is way weirder and way cooler than that. For example, there was one cool study done back in the 1980s that showed that like female wallabies with XX chromosomes that didn't have any egg cells at birth actually developed testes and went on to be more or less males even without the SRY gene. And you know why? It's because everyone has the genes for both testes and ovaries. What kind of gonads you get, whether it's one or the other or neither or both, comes down to an incredibly complex set of genetic interactions on several different chromosomes, a few of which aren't even your sex chromosomes. For example, the gene that builds testes is called SOX.
I'm not gonna patronize you, Morgan. Let's be real. Why do you you know that's the goal. Don't lie to me, Morgan. You know that's what you're hoping for.
X9, and it's on chromosome number 17, which everyone watching this has. If you have ovaries right now, that's because on your X chromosome you have another gene called NR0B1, which makes a protein called DAX1 that stops SOX9 from giving you testes. But I have an X chromosome too, right? So like, what's going on there? The SRY gene that we've been talking about works by producing a protein that binds to NR0B1 and stops it from making DAX1 so that SOX9 can give me testes. That's why I have testicles. It's because a gene made a protein that stopped another gene from making a different protein that would have otherwise stopped a different gene from giving me the testicles that I have. If you're paying attention, you might be starting to notice a few things here. This means that you could have a totally perfectly functional Y chromosome, but you have a problem with your SOX9 gene, and so you still end up with ovaries. Or this could mean that you have no Y chromosome at all, but you have a faulty NR0B1 gene, and so you still end up with testicles.
Battery low.
Hold on, chat. You gotta listen to sexy headphone lady once more.
Charging battery.
I hope that wasn't too loud. Yeah. Interesting. How this video sounds to me. Stunning. Yeah, this is a very dense video, but it really shows just like how objectively wrong like transphobes are, and how like very like wrong in their understanding of gender, and chances are your understanding of sex and gender is. And like that's fine. It's a very complicated subject. We wouldn't have like biologists dedicating their entire like careers to this if it was simple and easy to understand. She just thank you. I'm glad some of you like I'm glad you like my voice. I hope at least some of you do. I'm not a fan, but that's probably dysphoria. But yeah, it's it's funny. I was like, powering off, powering on, mic on. It's very breathy. The voice is very breathy for my headphones. Me, girlfriend, tired. Me, girlfriend, charging battery. I know about sex. It's a thing I don't have. I know. I've had a fair share of experience with it. Um, but yeah, this video has a lot in it, which is why I'm also taking breaks to pause it and like let you kind of digest what has been said and let me relay it in like an idiot's way, like twice as long and probably not as good. But hopefully it's more cute than sexy, I'm sure. I'm sure you could do sexy if you tried. Oh, could I, Morgan? Is this working? Am I doing it right? Have I been am I a dirty commie? I hate myself for uttering those words in that voice. But I will gladly do it again. For attention. Maybe we'll make that a channel rewards point. Like how, like how Jack has the, oh, mommy. Or, oh, daddy. Like how Jack has those. Maybe we can do something like that for dirty commie. Yeah, I need to be excused to the restroom for about 15. With that being said, I have to pee. So, um, we'll put on a Bob Larson video. Yes, please. We'll do why psychedelics are demonic. I don't know who either of these people are, so it might not be good. But Antichrist Demon Attack Zone. I've heard this one is real shitty, so we'll put these on. Also, flash warning. For these videos, his intro is very flashy, so look away for like. Here, we'll just skip it actually. But yeah, his intro will probably play again in the next video, but it's very flashy. So if you have photosensitivity, do whatever you got to do for the intro. All right, chat. I'll be right back. Also, we'll do a classic ad break while I go pee. And you know, if you don't want to see those ads, you can subscribe and be poggers. Be right back, chat.
We're going to take a look at an important question in culture today. Why psychics are demonic? Are they demonic? Millions consult mediums and psychics to speak with the dead. What are the motives that drive people to consult the departed? Do such activities, called divination in the Bible, lead to a curse and even demonic possession? I'm going to explain clearly to you why psychics are demonic. When Alison DeBoy was 17, she heard a voice saying, "Move your bed." She did. That night, a truck driven by a drunk woman crashed through her bedroom wall right where the bed would have been. There were also other times that this woman heard a voice as a child, including her great-grandfather, who sat at the edge of her bed when she was just 6 years old. As an adult, this led to an interest in psychically solving crimes, and eventually, actor Kelsey Grammer, remember him of Frasier fame, asked her to do a TV show about her life. That project became the NBC series Medium. Best-selling books followed. Now Du Bois is launching what she calls Dead University, a school for the psychically gifted. She teaches that when you're dead, you permanently revert to your happiest age. She declares that the afterlife is beautiful and vibrant, and that the heaven of loved ones isn't complete without us. Students of Dead University are taught to continually connect with the departed and include them in their daily lives. And all this is happening right next door to us, or so to speak, near our offices located in Scottsdale, Arizona. Think about it, deliverance and a psychic university in the same zip code. What are the reasons people want to talk to the dead? They may be overwhelmed with grief by the recent passing of a loved one and seek assurance that the departed are all right. They may feel they need to get advice from someone who helped them when they were alive, so they try to talk to that person who is dead. Others seek unknown information about the present or the future from the dead. They think the dead are on a higher spiritual plane with advanced perspectives. This is what King Saul did when he sought help from the dead prophet Samuel by consulting a witch, a psychic. 1 Samuel 28:7 says, "Then Saul said to his servants, 'Find me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her and inquire of her.' And his servant said to him, 'In fact, there is a woman who is a medium at Endor.'" Many of you know the story. That particular inquiry cost Saul his kingdom and his life. 1 Samuel 15:23 says, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because you," speaking of King Saul, "have rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected you from being king." That shows you the severity of seeking out psychics. But there are some other reasons that people seek psychics. Those who have malevolent, evil intent may think that beings in another spiritual realm will help them to get even, to get revenge with somebody. That's a form of black magic that operates at the very highest level. Still, some go to mediums because they follow a religious philosophy that teaches communication with so-called ascended masters. There are groups like the so-called I Am cult and the Great White Brotherhood. They consult with beings who have gone on to the afterlife and they think have a more perfected existence. They are then supposedly able to help the less involved beings left behind here on earth. In the Bible, there's the story of the rich man suffering in hell that Jesus told. This man asked to go back and warn his other family members who were still alive. Through this parable, Jesus taught that there was a great chasm, a gulf, an impassable gulf between the living and the dead, and that neither can pass over to the other. That's found in Luke chapter 16. In other words, seeing and talking to the dead is really a farce, a sham. It's a scam. According to the Bible, in Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter, beginning of verse...
Wait, talking to the dead is a sham? Don't you claim to do that, basically? Bob? Bob, don't you claim to do that in all your shows? Is talk to demons who are dead? Ghosts? Spirits? Thank you, Mark. I did not get much sleep last night. Very tight. Wait, what about all those stupid Catholic propaganda stories about kids who died and went to heaven? Well, you see, many religions have those. And obviously, they all can't be correct. But you know what they can be? They can all be wrong. I feel like this was a waste of this. I feel like I've had better uses of this. That was a weak one. I apologize, chat. I should make a super wide. Here, let's make it even. Let's make it. I love this. This is my favorite thing. So bad. I didn't get much sleep. No, I'm just a dumbass and I was playing Mortal Kombat.
Verse 9. These kinds of actions are known as divination. They're forms of witchcraft forbidden by the Lord. And why? Because they replace trust in God and His Word with unverifiable messages from the dead. Messages that are often directly in contradiction to Scripture, as mentioned earlier in the teachings of Dead University. In short, if you could consult a psychic for information about how life is to be lived, why would you need the Bible? Why would
You could say the same thing about priests and preachers. Bob, you could say the same thing. Why would we need priests and preachers if we can just read the Bible?
you need God as a source of supernatural information if what the psychic says is true?
Yeah, also Marjorie Taylor Greene, banned from Twitter. Can we talk about that for a moment? Can we get some pog champs in the chat for that?
Isaiah 8:19 says this. When someone tells you to consult mediums and spiritists who whisper and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living? So, if you're ever in the Phoenix, Arizona area, you have a choice. You can sign up for Dead University and risk eternal damnation.
Hey, listen, Mago Wizard, all I'm saying is, you better get royalties if you're making money off of this. But yet is not certain. But does not contain for femboys. Curious that. True. Puka. Wow, that's an actual Jake. Wow, you know who actual Jake is? That tiny streamer? That's wild. That's wild. 'Cause like I was hoping maybe like, you know, if he gets big enough, maybe one day I'll have him on here. Just saying, you know. There. You know, being the biggest streamer on Twitch ain't easy. You know, maybe Hassan will catch up one day. You know. Just, you know, tell Hassan. You can raid if he wants, I guess. I'll take a couple extra viewers. It'll be like what, 10% of my viewer base. Psh, Hassan. More like Husan. Exactly. That's right.
In hell, or you can enroll in the International School of Exorcism.
Boo, we're not buying your thing. Alright, what do we think, chat? Is this video something we think we should keep watching on stream, or is it a bit too much for stream and you think it would be better watched individually? Because I understand there are some videos and stuff that are not, you know, good stream videos. Is that one of Jake's friends who joined yesterday? I think so. Yeah, I don't know. He's like some like lefty streamer. I think he gets maybe like, I don't know. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, he's not bad. I've you know popped in on a couple streams and been like, oh wow, Altered Ring, you're here. Oh my god, that's amazing. Let's see. Yeah, recently he got banned for saying this one word. I think it was but now there's this like weird. Yes, this is his channel. As you can see, like real small, pretty small channel. Hold up. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty cool. He does a lot of. Oh, I guess he's been watching MasterChef or something. That's weird. Yeah, he watches a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes he plays games too. Like, yeah, I guess he's been playing Halo Infinite lately. But, you know, he's alright. Pretty small channel, just getting started. Oh yeah, I think he still lives with his mom. So, Asen, is that how you say it? I think so. I think so, people sometimes just call him Hank Pecker. You know, I do know Rin is pronounced cute. Interesting. I'll have to remember that one.
And yes, there are other animals, even other mammals, that don't have an SRY gene, that don't have an NR0B1 gene, that are still dioecious and still have sex differentiation. And there are even other animals that have all the same chromosomes and all the same genes that we have, but then they have other genes on top of that, so the whole switch from male to male back to female again is even more complicated. Well, let's ignore all that. Let's say that you have all the right chromosomes and you have all the right genes in all the right places. None of that really matters, because it's the hormones that your gonads produce that actually make your body look and act male or female. All the way back in like the early 1930s, scientists were noticing that female hormones...
Isn't Master Chief that cooking program? Yeah, with the co-host is like Arbiter or something. It's a weird name for like a co-host, but I've heard he's pretty cool.
Hormones introduced into male rats were producing some decidedly male behaviors, and that similarly, male hormones introduced into female rats were making them like weirdly more female. Even though we've been studying this stuff for like 100 years now, a lot of people are still very surprised to find that we all have testosterone and estrogen and all the other sex hormones in our body at all times, and they don't usually do what a lot of people think they do. Let me give you just a grossly oversimplified explanation of how this works. You see, the cholesterol in your body is converted into progesterone, and then that is what becomes testosterone, and that is what gives you what my...
Here. Cholesterol, progesterone, testosterone, estradiol. Or you could just simply Take some of these bad boys.
My anatomy professors would call male internal plumbing. Some testosterone is converted into dihydrous testosterone, and that's what gives you male external genitalia. Some other testosterone is then converted into estrogen and estradiol, and that's where you get female secondary sex characteristics and, get this, male brain anatomy. That's right, female embryos have to produce special proteins to bind estrogen to stop it from getting to their brains, otherwise they would develop mentally like a boy. We'll talk more about that stuff later. So every person has all of these hormones at different levels in their body all the time. Your exact hormone levels are as unique as your fingerprint. It's also important to note that hormones don't actually do anything. All they're able to do is bind to receptors on your cells, and then that makes the cells do the things that make you into a male or a female. And guess what? The production of those cell receptors is controlled by a totally different gene pathway. So for example, you could have a daughter who still hasn't had her period by like 16. So you take her to the doctor to figure out what's going on, and you find out that your daughter is actually...
So, yeah, like, I have been taking, here, I can show this on Twitch. I've been taking, T-blockers and estrogen for a few months. And, like, I don't know if you recognize it up here, but, like, shit changes. And, like, it just, like, it's kind of wild how, like, your whole body, like, changes so much. Like, I have tits now, like, my face has changed a bit, like, here, let's pull up these. What is this from? 8/15. Or actually, here. You know, this is the Mimsy Moon debate. Here, we'll just show this for a side-by-side comparison. Oop. Yeah, how come your boobs look better than mine? I'm also wearing a bra. It, like, has some cups in it, which maybe helps. I imagine. Just bolted sound. Hopefully you don't fall over. But yeah, this was just about a year ago. And like you can see just how different I look. Like goddamn, that is another person. That's an unfortunate pause phrase. Like how all the mimsies are just like motion play. I wonder what she said. That made me make that face. Here we get it. Couple seconds. Look at that. Look at that. Ugh. Gross. But like, look at the difference here. Oops. Showed that again. Oops. But yeah, like, look at this, the difference here. Just like, just in the face. I mean, it's hard to tell because I have makeup on. No one else she still looks, thank you. But like, just like, the difference in these two faces, like, that's... Oh my god. Like, oh man. Okay. And then look, meaty 52. Look at all those donuts. It was a good night for for me in terms of getting money. Oops, clicking all the wrong things. But like, see what I mean? Just like my face is different. Like it's wild just how different this thing, like having different hormones makes you look and how much it affects your body, and just having like different amounts of hormones in your body as a cis person can affect how you look and affect your body. Just kind of proves that like gender and sex are a bit more complicated than the turfs make it seem. Chat. Also, I don't know if we'll make it through this whole video. Um, aggressive shrimping sounds. And it's a good thing those shrimps, like I said, shrimp. Twitch. Yeah, it's so quick. Like I started hormones in July 16th. 16th or 17th? I believe July 16th is when I started. And I'm still on a fairly low dosage. I'm on 4 milligrams of estradiol, and then 50 milligrams of Spyro twice a day. So, yeah, my eyebrows are shorter. Yeah, that was definitely hormones, not just me shaving half of my eyebrows off. But yeah, it's been 7 months, and it's like, goddamn, I look like a different person. Like it is. I did not expect it to be this quick. Where I'm like, fuck. Like I knew it was like, I was expecting it to be like fairly slow, but like I didn't. It's still fairly slow. Like I didn't realize it until like I was like until like I looked at an old picture. I literally because I looked at um I went here because I was looking for something, and I just looked at this, just like this thumbnail of me. Uh-oh. What the hell happened? I looked at this thumbnail with me, and I was like, this is after just about a month. Oh, I forgot we had the John Doyle emote. Is that my tier 2 emote? I forgot it. That's a good ass emote. Yeah, we used to get a lot of chuds, but yeah, like just like the difference between this and now, like this is after about a month. We can even here. We'll even go to when I had. Oh, we watched Peter. But yeah, it's like unload. We did make up, so. Hopefully we don't kill the stream trying to do this. But yeah, anyway. Actually, I'm just gonna go back. But yeah, I looked at just these thumbnails and I was like, God damn, look at this. Look at this change. Like, look at this. This is a real cool, like, thing here. Like, from these, who are all relatively close to each other. And then this stream. And you can just see, like, how different my face is. Is why I'm just trying to thank you. Thank you, Morgan. But just like, I'm sorry if I'm going on a rant about this, but it's just like, it's wild, like the difference here. And also, it's just wild that this shitty video I made when I was high at 2 in the morning got 200 is my most viewed video on my YouTube channel. This shitty edit that I made at 2 in the morning on like election day. Or when it was like officially announced. But I'm glad. I'm also glad people enjoy me and Hannah together doing stuff. I love doing things with Hannah. I would love to do another stream with her. But yeah, nothing more alpha than claiming you're alpha. But yeah, also chat. I don't know if I have it in me. I'm sorry to finish the rest of this video. Just because like I'm tired. I got like less than 5 hours of sleep last night just because I was up late and then I got up to hang out with my friend this morning. It was a lot of fun hanging out with them. We made some fire ass dinner tonight. I made my friend helped a bit. It's like I wanted to let them help more, but I'm like so used to just cooking by myself that it's like hard to divvy up in my head where I'm just like, all right, I just do this. Like I just they did help with like keeping me on track in terms of like timing things. Because it also would have been worse. Um, but I made a peanut I made a peanut sauce for a stir fry and it came out really good. It was fucking amazing. I love peanut sauce for like stir fries. It's just peanut butter, soy sauce, a bit of I used rice vinegar and I think it actually came out better this time with the rice vinegar because the recipe calls for apple cider vinegar. But I used that. A bit of sriracha, garlic, ginger, a little bit of water just to help thin it up, and a lot of that water cooks out. Not a lot of it, but like a decent bit of it cooks out so it thickens back up a bit. Peanut sauce is yummy. Oh, it's so fucking good. It was peanut butter, vinegar, sriracha, soy sauce, garlic, ginger. I think that's it. and sesame oil, a little bit of sesame oil, and that is delicious. And I think next time I'll make it, I'll put in sounds like pad thai. It is similar. It's similar to pad thai. I want to try making pad thai soon. Um, Peanut sauce just tastes like overly warm peanut butter to me. Well, you've never had good peanut sauce then. But the peanut sauce. Um, see, this for me. My brain's just like um. But yeah, next time I might put in a little bit of red pepper flakes just to get that little bit of heat in it. And then for the stir fry, we just had tofu, which if you're making tofu, fry it up a bit before you throw it in with everything else. That way it gets nice and crispy on its own, and it gets a lot better flavor to it than if you just throw it in on with everything else. Because I've seen people do that, and it's not a smart decision. Um, taste your pad thai. That can be used. Yeah, because I got a nice cast iron wok for Christmas. So hopefully can make something nice with that. I like it with tofu. Love it with tofu or shrimp. Ooh, maybe I'll do it with shrimp. Um, but yeah, I love cooking. I love cooking. Crunchy tofu is good too. Yeah, you just want that little bit of crisp on the outside. Just give that little good. And I usually throw in a little bit of like a little bit of salt and a little bit of garlic powder in with the tofu, and that just helps flavor it up a bit. And then when you throw it in with everything else in the sauce, it still absorbs all the flavor of the sauce and stuff. But yeah, I just like a couple of pinches of salt on like I usually use like half of like a block, like the usually comes like the 14-ounce. I'd like to make a brisket for you. Sushi. I'm sure it's very good, but I don't really eat red meat anymore. I don't really eat meat anymore, especially red meat, but I'm sure it's very good. Um, I appreciate it. Um, yeah, absolutely. When you cook your own food, it will typically be healthier and like also usually cheaper. Um, but yeah, it's you can make like for a while um I went down and I stayed with my uncle for a while because he had just gotten at the hospital, and I just stayed with him to like help with stuff around the house and cooking and stuff, and like running errands and all that, whatever. But so basically, when I was there, because what happened, he couldn't uh have like his food like salted, like so there's like no salt. I'll make black beans and rice. I do love black beans. They might be my like one of my favorite beans. Um, but yeah, so like I couldn't like salt food before I when I was cooking it, and it still fucking tasted great. Like Mrs. Dash, I think makes a really good spice mix that is salt free. Morgan, you have competition. um, but yeah, I made a lentil pasta with diced tomatoes, green olives, and vegan ground beef tonight. That sounds really good. Oh, my voice shot. Fuck, spilled. God damn it. Don't look at this part, chat. God. I just ate tortellinis. What? Where are these new people coming from? I mean, welcome. I hope you enjoy it here. But, you like cooking? Is getting wet live. Very salamander. Why salamander? I mean, if people like eating salamander, more power to them. But uh, I I won't eat it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be making crepes soon. I'm probably gonna do like a Greek kind of like filling. Um, um, I don't know if it's entirely like Greek, but I was gonna do like spinach, feta, roasted red peppers, maybe like I don't know, chickpeas maybe. Right, I'm just gonna I was just gonna purge that just because English only, please. Just because mods and myself can't really, as far as I know, can't really speak or read other languages. So English only, please. I don't know if you said anything that was problematic. So just to get rid of it, just to be safe. Um, God damn it, Morgan. Although Beyond Meats does make some pretty good sausage. Some pretty good vegan sausage. There's also a really good vegan chipotle chorizo sausage. Oh yeah, no. What? Where did all these weirdos come from? But yeah, I do want to try making pan fried noodles, which is a thing. I don't know how you make it. Fried. Let's see. Um, Cream cheese wonton. That sounds good. Noodles which are already cooked. Wait. Okay. Interesting. I had pan-fried noodles at a good restaurant in Chinatown. Good turkey or vegan sausage so I can make healthier breakfast wraps. The Beyond ones I know were the ones I had were more like Italian sausages, which were good. But I know there are some solid like breakfast sausages that are vegan. Those are real good. I don't know like what brands. I know Morningstar is pretty good. I think they make them. I haven't had their like sausages, but I've had their like vegan nuggies, which are pretty good. Because I'm an adult and I eat chicken nuggies. But um but yeah, maybe check them out or maybe Beyond. I don't know who makes breakfast sausages. Like Gardenburg. Yeah, I think we talked about it on stream. Yeah, because somebody was upset that I was like, yeah, milk the dairy industry is bad. And you were like, I like garden burgers. And I was like, yes, those are really good. I've had like frozen ones that I've gotten, and I've had like ordered ones at a restaurant that were like made there. Both very good. I had one that was actually like a quinoa burger. So like a lot of the burger was made out of quinoa, and then there was like other veggies mixed in. That one was very good. And get picky with the taste. I'm not a picky eater. I eat a lot of things. Take that as you may. Anyway, I think I think I'm gonna call the stream here. But yeah, if you wanted the link to that video we were watching, because I don't think I can. My brain's just a mess. I don't think I can keep up. But so we're gonna go right over to Jake.
Movie was very.
That's what I was saying.
She was sexy.
Oh wait, the
but
Harley
she
Quinn
wasn't
movie was actually.
Be sure to
the
say
Birds of Prey
congrats.
movie, that was actually really good.
Jake and Sarah just got engaged, so be sure to say congrats and send your possum hearts.
It also seemed like something she would choose.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't something that a man dressed her in.
Behave yourselves. Hope you all have a good night.
It's sexy,
I will see you all next time,
right.
and
Sexy,
thank
but
you all
it's
for
like,
hanging out. Thank you
it
for
makes
the
sense for
bits,
the
any
universe.
subs,
Doesn't seem
and
Rob Liefeld
just
got
showing
a
up
hand
and
in
the
it.
follows and all that. Hope you all have a good night and enjoy. A joke I like to make when I go to Comic-Con is to go to a
Birds of Prey
stand
is actually a really good movie. I'm
and do the.
surprised I liked it as much. I didn't go into
Hello,
it
my
very
good sir.
strong. We watched it and really enjoyed
I am an adult, which means I have the funds to buy all your toys.
It looks insane. Though. Like, there's gonna be constant violence at all times. It's probably the opening scene. Because usually, like the Arkham Knight games are open like this too, but it's not always just bullet hell. But there are.
Anyway, all right. I will see you all next time. Yeah, be sure to say congrats on them for getting engaged. Good night, chatters.
It must be like one of the first bosses. Very early boss. Superman's not. All the Justice League is the boss.